Okay, shalom. Okay, let's give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Karkadash. Okay, double honor to our apostles of Great Millstone, LGMS. Okay, and salutation, peace, and blessings to the hopeful elect of the children of Israel. Okay, I'm just going to run through this real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on this abominable behavior, which this is an Israelite, and he has a spirit of an Israelite. All right, well, spirit of a 2/3 Israelite. Let me put it that way. Oh yeah, man, I hate even referring to him as Israelites, but he's a Jake. He's clearly a Jake, but yeah, Texas man who has sex with a horse is jailed for 10 years. A Texas man who admitted to having sex with a horse and sexually assaulting several others have been jailed for a decade. Jean Marie Bugoma, 24, was convicted. Young man, too. Was convicted on Wednesday after pleading guilty to bestiality. The sick acts occurred at a San Antonio equine boarding facility on at least 3 occasions. Oh, he was getting down several times on at least 3 occasions between June 2020. You see what happens when you don't have the truth. You see what happens when you're not following, the commandments. When you see what happens when you live contrary to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. He gives you over to a reprobate mind. This is a perfect example of a reprobate mind, man. A reprobate. This is the perfect definition of a reprobate. Here, let me grab that scripture here. Mm, mm, mm. And Pastor Porkchop, I love this man. Pastor Porkchop. You see, Romans 1:28. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. And it's just common sense, man, that that you're not supposed to have sex with animals, man. That's just basic common sense, It's just basic common sense. And let's just go into that word reprobate. And a lot of times, you send these individuals to prison and they don't learn their lesson, man. And what a lot of them do, they just they get wiser in their wickedness. That's what they do. They try and seek out better ways to get away with their foul behavior. What's that word there? Act oak emos.
Strong's G96. Adakimas.
Not standing the test, not approved, properly used, that which does not prove itself such as it ought, unfit for, unproved, spurious, and reprobate. Let me go to that, what I like to do, that web dictionary. Definitions from, this is actually from Oxford. It comes up. I do this a lot. It just comes up automatic. An unprincipled person, often used humorously or affectionately. Okay. Number 2 is a sinner who is not of the elect and is predestined to damnation. Number 2 is perfect. A sinner who is not of the elect and is predestined to damnation. That's actually scripture as well. Those have been reserved unto the day of fire. The Apocryphs, Second Ezra's, or is it Second Peter's? It's probably both. Number let's see this adjective number one, unprincipled, often used as a. Okay. Number two again is, here we go, predestined to damnation. Okay. A reprobate. A reprobate. And clearly 2/3 of are reprobates. Let's just say here. Being filled with all unrighteousness. And an individual that lays down with the beast, man, they're not refrained from anything. Anything, you know. And imagine an individual that'll lay down with a beast. The world is his plate, you know. Like, again, they don't refrain themselves from, and they don't have a shut off valve. They don't have that filter to help them filter out what's clean and what's unclean, you know. They're probably into all kinds of eating anything and everything. They're probably clearly they have sex with anything. They're probably murder isn't too far behind, you know. Being filled with unrighteousness, fornication, and wickedness. A reprobate. A straight up reprobate. Okay, let me go back to that. Okay. This sick act occurred in a sentence on the boarding facility on at least 3 occasions between June 2020 and February 2021. The first instance, Bugoma was caught on surveillance camera walking through the Staples naked. Damn. According to an arrest affidavit, the owner noticed soon after that two of his horses were injured, and a vet later determined the animals had been sexually assaulted. Authorities said Bugoma went to the Staples again months later and had sex with one of the horses. 2 other horses had also been hobbled, which means their legs were bound together. Damn. He straight up raped the horses. I mean, he just literally raped the horses, man. Lord. You know, it's the type of behavior that, you know, the prophets is warning you of and trying to turn you from. But they got the nerve to attack us, you know, on the internet, on the highways and byways, attack us with their foul, their no knowledge having words, and you know. And this demon right here, and that's what he is. He's just a demon, man. This is one of those monsters that, you know, that these single mamas have brought into the world, you know. And in a lot of cases, he could have been raised by mom and dad, and his mom and dad themselves were monsters, man. Straight up monsters, man. You know. So I'm gonna leave it with this. So, shalom.